some NFL football because, George, it was just so fucked up for so many teams this weekend,
dude,
man.
I feel bad for all these guys taking. I mean, dude, I'm gonna tell you what.
Mm-hmm.
I heard Chris Carter describe it today as controlled violence, and that's exactly what the NFL is. But I would say the next thing that they're going to make illegal are these chop blocks and these cut blocks to these players. Because to watch Brian Cushing lose the rest of his season, and to be honest, to have a broken leg and a torn LCL in the same leg where you tore your ACL last year, all because of a cut block. It's not a freak accident like Reggie Wayne. Reggie Wayne blew out his ACL trying to make a cutback. But I mean, just to get cut block like that, we've already seen one tight end get his whole season ended. It's just nuts. It's crazy to watch these guys get hurt on what I would consider an unnecessary block.
Yeah, it's it's the first time where the block and whatever it might be, George. It's like this weekend was the first time where I actually felt bad for fans and players. I mean, so many people got hurt. Like Redskins game, Cutler's out for 4 weeks. Reggie Wayne's done for the fucking season. Then you say, and we could go on.
Out.
Yeah, Lance Briggs is also hurt. I mean, there are so many people getting hurt, and the game's faster, the guys are stronger, and stuff like this. And I think a lot of things they do with these rules make people just pull up and do stupid shit. It seems like there's more injuries now with the new rules than there were before, in my opinion. I don't know.
Brandon Marshall went on record and said your safety shouldn't be allowed to play football anymore. Brandon Merryweather.
Huh?
Did you watch the Redskins game? Because me being up here in Philly, I didn't get to see any of it.
Let me explain something to you. George, you know how much of a Redskin fan I am, right? Yeah. And, my girlfriend's stepdad is in town. He's with us, and he's from Chicago, and we're watching a game. And I'm talking to him about Brandon Merryweather, and I'm like, and for all you guys that don't know, Brandon Merryweather's the Redskins safety. This guy is such a headhunter. And I mean, I don't know if you just have such terrible form or you just, I don't know how they're not going to suspend him, George. He went head to head and it was obvious he did it. And then he turned around and he did it again in the same game and they didn't throw him out. I don't know why they didn't throw him out. I was surprised about that. I know they're going to suspend him. It's probably like his fourth or fifth time this season. He does.
I mean, look at college. College now has a rule where they have called targeting. That has to be the next step to the NFL. If you get flagged for targeting, you're out of the game immediately. It's a 15-yard penalty and you're out of the game.
Yeah, and it's I always get when I'm watching college Saturday and then the next day it's Sunday. I'm always thinking somebody's going to get thrown out of the game because I keep thinking I'm watching college.
But a player got thrown out this past weekend, so I would imagine the NFL is going to have to re-review the rules and maybe they'll adopt something like this because players learn when you hit them in the pocket.
Yeah. Yeah,
when they're not getting those game checks. That's when they might change their play style. But yeah, your boy Merryweather is a trip.
Hold on, something coming across right now. Hold on a second. Let me see something. Hold on a second. Yep, he's suspended.
For how many games? Just one?
2 games.
That's 2 games.
Safety Brandon was suspended for 2 games Monday after yet another. It also cost him $141,000.
There you go.
2 games they suspend him. Now he's probably our best safety we have, and he's fucked the team. I mean, it's like, but you know what? I mean, as much as I want to see him play, I'm thinking there's no fucking way. Like if I was fucking our defensive coordinator, I would flip out on him. Because I'm like, you know what, man? You've just hurt a struggling defense. You have hurt us so bad,
Well, see, here's what I'm thinking. Because players don't take kindly to that shit. And this thing's supposed to be a brotherhood, and they tell you you're not supposed to go out and injure another player. And if you're hunting for the head, this isn't boxing, this isn't fighting. So my thing is there's a real easy way to fix this. You run a sweep, and when Merryweather comes up, your fullback, your guard, your tackle, your wide receiver takes out his knee.
Yep. He's hit Lacey for the Packers. He hit the other guy for the Packers, knocked himself out and got a concussion. He hit LaShawn McCoy head on. He hit Brandon Marshall. I mean, two players the other day. He's constantly doing it. And I'm going to tell you what, Roger Goodell's been like dormant. That mug's been like a damn volcano.
Quiet this season.
He's been awfully quiet this season. I'm going to tell you what, let this kid come off of the 2-game suspension and hit somebody else. He will be gone. I guarantee you he will say, see you later. That's the end of your career. Because you got a lot of people complaining. They're starting to complain about him like people do, Sue.
Ndamukong Suh, yeah.
Yeah. And, go ahead.
I was going to say, and speaking of Sue, he got invited back out to the league offices in New York to review some tapes and get asked some questions and talk about his fines. But now here's my question to you. I'm not brushed up on where this fine money goes. When a player gets fined by the NFL, he pays the NFL that money. Do you have any idea where that money goes?
I have no idea.
Okay, neither do I. So maybe somebody can help us. And here's why I bring it up. And the Green Bay Packer game this weekend, Cleveland went to Green Bay, and Green Bay won the game, but they lost yet another weapon. And Jermichael Finley got hit in the head, borderline paralyzed, spent the night in ICU.
Right.
The player who hit him is obviously going to be fined. Now, in this case, that fine money should go to Jermichael Finley. And if Jermichael Finley never plays again because of this hit, he should get his contract. It shouldn't be voided. The Green Bay shouldn't be able to avoid it. And if Green Bay doesn't pay it, then the NFL should pay it. And I'm not sure where the fine money goes, but in that situation, that player's money should go to that player that he hurt and potentially ended his career. You put a guy in the fucking ICU? Come on.
I think all that fine money should go towards, I think all the fine money people get, it should go to, and maybe it does, I don't know. I mean, I could be going way down the wrong avenue, to go in some type of escrow account to retired players that have injuries. You know, like what they're paying out right now. I mean, all these.
Jermichael Finley might be in that pool very soon.
Yeah. I mean, they should have some type of thing where it goes to them. And that's how, you know, they use the fine money to go, you know, have an account where it's drawing interest and stuff. And when these players have, you know, injuries that end their career, or if they have, you know, concussion issues or whatever down the road where there's suits involved, then you have a pool of money to pay these players out. But, let's move on to.
It was a brutal week in football, to be honest. I don't think anyone's team got out unscathed. So.
Yeah, nobody did. I mean, and then there's people that are doing stupid shit. Like, you know, you have the Houston Texans are just, they're just a hot mess, dude.
What did I tell you week one about Arian Foster?
Georgia made it very clear. It's like, you know, he was saying that Arian Foster cannot stay healthy. And after a while, you could be the greatest player in the world, but, you know, if you're not on the field half the time, then there's no use for you.
No.
You know what I mean? And there's just no use.
The thing is Houston missed out on a chance, in my opinion, to trade this guy when he still had value. Because right now, I don't even think you could get a 6th or 7th round pick for this guy. You're going to end up cutting Arian Foster because he's got another hamstring injury. Does anyone remember why he didn't start the season last year? Hamstring injury. I don't know what this guy's doing, but he needs to get his shit together.
You know, and this is where it gets worse for Houston. I mean, you got Arian Foster, who's been a problem for the last 3 years, staying healthy. Then you got Schaub. You know, obviously you got a huge problem at quarterback. I mean, this guy came in this week and did pretty well. They almost ended up beating Kansas City. But right when they feel like they're getting some momentum and they almost beat the only undefeated team left in the NFL, 3 of their rookies get cut because of the smoking weed. Sam Montgomery, Sierra Wood, and Willie Jefferson all gone because they were smoking weed, violating the team's rules.
That's a team rule. That's not an NFL rule.
I mean, maybe.
No, I'm asking because I mean I can understand. I mean, if it's a team rule, that's harsh. And Sam Montgomery's, I'm pretty sure that's the defensive tackle out of LSU. Which, I mean, doesn't surprise me if he was hanging out with Honey Badger.
It was 2 days after violating team rules. So at a hotel. So they must have smoked it. Someone witnessed it or whatever happened. And you know, I mean, obviously they're thinking, okay, you know, we're going to just cut them because they're going to come back dirty. Or maybe, you know, obviously these guys have ways of beating the test. You know, they can, you know, try to flush the system out and get past it or whatever. But they just have a team rule. You know what? You guys aren't going to smoke no reefer up in here. Okay. We know it's a league rule, but even if you can beat the test or get away with it, you know, you've just been recently tested, you know, you're not going to go out the next night and smoke some weed. That is a team rule. And they did it. And they're like, you know what? See you. Bye. You know,
yeah,
adios, deuces.
Everything here, it's hotel teammates. Sam Montgomery says Texans cut him for walking into a hotel room where teammates were smoking cigar. So Sam Montgomery seems to think that it was a cigar where other people think it was weed.
That shit was a Philly blunt, son.
Added no illegal substances were involved in him breaking team rules. Yeah, I get that's a team rule by the Texans. I'm gonna tell you what though, I understand the strict rules, but that could hurt you in free agency.
Yeah.
That could really, if you have team rules like that, and you're an athlete who likes to partake in cigars, as Sam Montgomery said it was, I know I'm not going to go play on the Texans.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. People could be like, okay, yeah, it is. It's there's definitely two sides to that story. I mean, two sides to that coin. I mean, it could hurt. And Texans, believe me, they don't need anybody wanting another reason not to come to Houston the way their season started off so far.
What I find is amazing is we've talked now for probably about 6 or 7 minutes and haven't really discussed one game.
No, we did. I mean, because it was just like with college football. It wasn't even about the games. It was about the BCS. And with this week, I think all the games
and all the crazy shit going on.
It was the injuries. I mean, the only thing, the big highlights is seriously everything. You look at the highlights. Bud Adams died, who was the owner of the Texans. Cutler's out. Wayne is out. Briggs is hurt. Finley's in the ICU. Brad. Oh shit! We didn't even talk about Bradford. He's done for the season.
ACL, and now they're talking about, get this, signing Timmy.
Kenny.
Yeah, they're talking about signing Timmy Tebow. I'm just like
Timmy
okay.
Tebow. Oh my god! And then Champ Bailey just comes back. His same foot is hurt, so he's out, likely out for the Redskins game.
I'd say, in all honesty, the two most exciting games, and I'm pretty sure I called the Cincinnati game. Was the Cincinnati game, and the game last night was Indy. It was Indy and Denver. I mean, to me, those were the two most exciting games of the weekend. Besides all the crybaby Patriots fans.
Let me ask you about the shootout there. It's a lot. I tell you what, like Andrew Luck looks better and better, and they look pretty good. But I tell you what, if it comes down to, again, they were playing in Indianapolis. 1, 2. They had so many turnovers. The Broncos. I mean, they stayed in that game after having 4 or 5 turnovers. Which was just crazy. I don't even know how they stayed in the game.
Normally Peyton doesn't do that, and they had penalties. But to me, it just speaks volumes about what they're doing in Indianapolis. I think the owner needs to shut his mouth because, I mean, he's sounding like a complete jackass. I mean, I understand what they did for Peyton, but, dude, just keep your mouth closed.
Yeah, dude. And what's funny? You fuck yourself. I mean, he really wants to keep his side because now they got a major. I mean, Reggie Wayne obviously is a big target for fucking Andrew Luck, and he needs as many savvy veterans on his squad to help him along. He's good. I mean, if I'm a rookie, I'd love to have somebody I'd throw the ball to like Reggie Wayne, who's a veteran, who knows how to run his patterns and stuff like this, knows how to mix shit up. And now you got him out for the season. Little things like that can disrupt the flow of your offense like crazy.
Look at what Indianapolis has done. They've beat Seattle, they've beat the 49ers, and now they've beat Denver.
Yep.
I mean, those are 3 wins you definitely hang your hat on. And Andrew Luck took full responsibility for Reggie Wayne's injury. He said, if I throw the ball where it's at, he doesn't make the cut, doesn't blow out his knee. I was like, wow. When is the last time you heard an athlete step up to the plate
that
like
guy. And you know what's funny, man? The thing about him, man, watching the game last night, he took off from the 20, and you don't realize how fucking fast. He's fast, man. He's real fast. I mean, like he doesn't look like he's moving fast, but he got in that end zone so fast. He has more rushing touchdowns in the last 2 years than any quarterback, I think.
Does he?
He's got more. Yeah. You don't even think about it. I mean, he is just really going to be something, man, that guy. I mean, it's amazing how scouts can sit back and they'll say, you know what, still go with Andrew, still go with him with the first round pick, still say this because, they study that shit. That's what they fucking do for a living. And you know what? I was like RG3 because he was going to be a Redskin. And, I mean, I love the fact that we have a great quarterback in Washington now. But man, when you sit back and you watch what Andrew Luck is slowly starting to do, first 22 games of his career, more passing yards than anybody in their first 22 games. You see that it's starting to take shape.
And in fairness to that stat, the game has changed immensely. This used to be a double tight I formation, pound it down your throat, win by defense. Now it is multiple set formations. You got tight ends who now can play wide receiver. You got wide receivers the size of tight ends, but they move like slot receivers. It's crazy. It's
right.
And this is where the game's going. It's getting vertical, and Andrew Luck is just in a system with multiple weapons, and I have a feeling it's going to be in his future when he gets more games under his belt. It's just going to be plug and play. I don't think he's going to have the greatest receivers in the world, but I think he's going to end up putting up Peyton Manning, Tom Brady type numbers. I mean, I don't know if we'll have the Super Bowl wins that Brady will, but I think he'll challenge Peyton's passing records.
Yeah, I think so. He'll be the type of quarterback that he's a smart guy, obviously, and he picks up things. He played in college in a system that's, similar to the NFL. So he's just ahead. And I think he's only going to get better in 2 or 3 years. You're going to see him, like you said, having receivers, and he's going to be teaching them what to do like Peyton did and like what Brady did. Anyway, guys, we're going to wrap it up because this has been the longest show in the history of the fucking world, dude. We've been talking forever tonight, and I got to roll the fuck out, homie.
Deuces.
Deuces. Later.